It's another day for another meditation. I hope that you are as excited as I am. And thank you for already starting me off with some good compliments, Lindsay. That was really sweet of you. Thank you. I miss you, girl. I hope you're doing good, and I hope Shelby's doing good. And I see Jennifer's in here and my mom. So thank y'all all for joining me here today for another meditation. I'm just getting home from work. I was over in Mobile today, and it was a little bit of traffic as I drove back. So I'm a few minutes past 7, but I really appreciate you joining me here anyway. And let's get on with a cool meditation, because that's what we're here today for. And if you've been following along, then you will see that today's Monday, the 18th, and the theme for today is ENTRUST. And the little mantra that we're going to be focusing on is my worries and wishes are known. And the reason I chose this mantra or this affirmation for today is because my dad actually shared this little this not quote, but this belief with me that emotions are the spiritual or the language. Hang on, how does he say it? Emotions are the language of the spiritual, or something along the lines of that. And the reason he told me that is because there was a time when I was feeling really upset, and he said, Tori, if you're feeling emotions here in this realm, then you know that your creator, the universe, the spirits, whatever you believe, you know that those beings, or that being, if it's God, which it is, for me at least, but I like to believe in a lot of different things. So he said, you know that it knows what you're feeling. If you're feeling an emotion here in this realm, emotions are the language, I think he said the language of God. I think that's what he said, but I know it was like the spiritual language of God. I need to find out the exact quote so I can share it with you. But that was my inspiration behind today's mantra, which is my worries and my wishes are known. And I just think that's a beautiful little story to share, just to kind of give some background for today's meditation, for Meditate With Me May. And the reason that's important is because so often we feel like if we are at a loss of control, or if we're feeling worried about something, or if we're really emotional, we think that is because we're not being heard, or something's not going to go right, or maybe, like I said, we've lost control. And if you, I guess, sit with the idea or entertain the idea that if you are feeling emotional towards something, then that is the language of God or the universe, then you know, just by having those feelings, letting those emotions flow through you, just by doing that, that is gonna be your line to your creator, or your line to the person who can fix it or make it right or help you along or give you some kind of spiritual guidance. So when you worry or when you are wishing, keep in mind that it is known. If you're feeling it inside you, then that part of you that is also connected to everything else is also aware of it. So that's just something that I guess I wanted to start off with for Meditate With Me May, which is today. Today's day 5. Okay, so we're on Monday. Oh my gosh, today's day 5 already. It feels like, I don't know. I know I said in yesterday's live that we were halfway through, but it doesn't seem like we're that far along. There's only 3 days left, guys. So as you can see on our little meditation calendar, Thursday was grounded, Friday was respond, Saturday is admire, Sunday's connect, today is entrust. So what does entrust mean to you? If you're here and you have something that comes to mind, I'd love for you to share it with me in one of the comments, and let me know what entrust means to you. For me, it means letting my emotions, letting my emotions be expressed, and then also knowing that when I'm expressing that emotion, that it's not going to waste, that is the language of the universe, and that I'm being heard, whether I'm crying because I'm sad, or like last night, honestly, I'll share a little bit with you. I am feeling super emotional because, the moon sometimes makes people feel a little bit emotional, whether it's a full moon or if it's just like, you're a girl and that's kind of what cycles through. But either way, you're always subject to, or you're not always subject, but you're always allowed to be emotional. So last night I was feeling a little bit of emotional, and I was thinking about all the different things that our current circumstances have kind of led to. One of those being a travel ban, or not travel ban, but I think we're under like a travel restriction. We might be under a travel ban. I don't know. But I just started thinking about just my life, and I don't know why I ended up going down this path, and I'm going to share the path in just a second, but I want to kind of give a disclaimer. Don't let these emotions get you down. I'm totally fine now. But I just started thinking about, like, what if I don't get to travel to all the different places that I want to see? And one in particular is Iceland. I've always wanted to go to Iceland. I went on this like senior trip. I think it was like to the here in Mobile or here in Gulf Shores, we have like an international festival. In my senior year, we went on a field trip to the international festival, and like no one was talking to this Iceland booth, because they have different countries and continents and stuff like that set up in this international festival, and no one was talking to the Iceland guy. So I ended up going over there, and he had a calendar, and the calendar was so beautiful, and it had, you know, puffins and little horses, miniature horses and stuff that are wild there. And so I just fell in love with Iceland, and last night my emotions got the best of me, and I just started thinking about, like, what if I'm never going to be able to go to Iceland? So I started crying. And I know that sounds so silly, because, like, why would I cry about something like that? But my hormones were running high, and my emotions were just flowing out of me, and I told myself, I was like, it's okay to let this out. And it wasn't like I was sobbing. I was just, you know, little tiny tears. And my partner, Dylan, was like, you know, what's wrong? And I just told him, I want to go places. And so anyways, the whole point I'm telling you that is because you have to entrust, and that is the word for today. You have to entrust that if you are feeling a certain way or a type of way or whatever, then your creator knows that you are feeling that way, and that, you know, emotions are the language of the universe. So if you are being affected, then that is without a doubt known to whoever created you. And I'm seeing a couple people comment. Lindsay said, oh, exactly, having emotion is never supposed to be a bad thing. Exactly. And I know sometimes we can get caught up in our emotions, and sometimes our emotions can affect kind of like the way we see the world, our perceptions. And so it's important to like take a step back and say, you know, why am I feeling this way? Am I feeling this way because of a sense of lack, or am I feeling this way because I'm sad? And there's never a right or a wrong. But in my case last night, I just eventually started thinking about how having a lack mindset would lead me to think that I would never be able to experience that. And the truth of the matter is, you know, Lindsay or whoever's listening, the truth of the matter is I experienced Iceland when I met that guy at the International Festival. And I mean, of course, I definitely want to go to Iceland, but there's the beauty of Iceland, or whatever I'm trying to get out of going somewhere, or, you know, what's outside of myself. It can always be found through your own personal experiences. And it's just sometimes not in the way that you expect or that you originally thought that it would be. So in my case, I took a step back and I was like, you know what? I could Google Iceland. I could look at beautiful pictures, and that would definitely make me feel better right now in this moment. And so I ended up not doing that, because I ended up falling asleep, and, you know, that's really beside the point. But what I'm here to tell you is entrust in your emotions, entrust in your creator, and entrust in your own experience, because a lot of times what we are seeking is something that is inside of us. And that's kind of been this ongoing theme throughout our meditation May. And, you know, what you're looking for outside of you is a reflection of yourself. So if you find it inside first, like right now, I'm finally coming to terms with, you know, if I never get to see Iceland, if I died tomorrow, which I hope I don't, I've lived such a fulfilling life, and I've really done most of the things that I really want to do, and the things that I haven't done, I have hope. I have room in my current perception to still do those things. And so it's almost like I'm connecting with a future version of myself that's already done it, and that's so happy to know that I've done that. And so that's kind of what is lighting us up. So anyways, imagine what you want and be thankful for what you already have, because if you imagine that you already have it, and you feel those feelings of gratitude instead of the lack, then you're more likely to attract just the part of you that's in yourself to manifest outside of yourself. And I really hope that makes sense. But another better way of saying it would be, if you find it in here first and you give that gratitude, that thankfulness out, you send it out, which is what meditation is good for, then you can manifest it in your personal life so that you receive it back in another way. So that's what meditation is great for, is for manifesting. And you are always manifesting, always. It's not like, instantaneously. It's not going to happen the second that you the second that you think of it. Thank goodness, because how many times have you thought of something and you're like, oh my gosh, elephant in the room, and elephant in the room would show up? No, that wouldn't work. So you are ultimately grateful for that time delay when you start thinking about things that you want and that you want to manifest, because they vibrate. All of your wishes and your wants and your desires are ultimately going to they're going to surface in your life if they are stemming from a place of love. And love vibrates at a more rapid frequency. It's faster, it's quicker. Fear is slow, it drags on forever. It's kind of like when you're watching a scary movie and you hear those really dark, those tones, in the music, and it's like really like low frequency, and they're kind of deep and they're dragging on. So don't worry if you're thinking of things and your imagination gets the best of you sometimes, like it did with me last night. Let those emotions out, but then ultimately journal, come back to those feelings and say, why am I wanting this? Why is it bringing these emotions to me? Am I entrusting? There's that word. And when you figure out that you have within you the power to entrust that it will happen, then, it's a pretty good chance. You never know. So we're going to focus on entrusting today. That's what our Meditate With Me May is about. And before we do, I want to pull one of these cards, which I've been doing every single day over the last 6 days. 5 days? Yeah, 5 days. And we're going to do them every day until the 8th day. And so I'm really happy that you joined me, and hopefully you will get a little message out of these cards in addition to the one that I get, because I've been really enjoying the messages that these have on them. Now, I pulled 2 yesterday. One of them was a card that I'd pulled before. So I'm actually going to set these 2 that were on top, the ones that I pulled yesterday, I'm going to set them aside. And so hopefully we get some fresh, or I know we will, we'll get some fresh messages. And these are little prayer cards that my mom got me. They're, just little Bible verses that make you feel good. And that's why I'm sharing them with you. If you don't, whether you believe, I guess I shouldn't say if you don't believe, but like whether you believe in the Bible, or if you get, I guess everybody knows about the Bible, but if you, entrust the Bible, whether you do that or not, or whether this is just a positive little message that speaks to you today, it's my hope that the love that is written on these cards, the messages that are made from a place of love, I hope they reach you. That's the whole point of this. And I really am doing it for both of us, but I think I need this one today. I've kind of had an emotional, hormonal day, so I've been looking forward to this time together today, and I've been looking forward to what our card says. So the way that I did it the last 2 days was really fun, and I just kept shuffling until I saw someone comment on here and say stop. So if you want to be involved, that would mean so much to me for you to comment and say stop. In the meantime, I'm just going to keep shuffling, and then I will pull the one on top. And if no one says anything, I'll just kind of shuffle until it feels right. I'm already feeling better, though, just being here with y'all. So thank you for joining me. Okay, I see a stop. Thank you, Lindsay. All right, I'm going to stop right here. This one says, I love this. I've heard this one before. It's a good one. She is clothed in strength and dignity, and she laughs without fear of the future. Oh my gosh, how crazy, because I was just talking about like traveling and stuff. That's Proverbs 31:25. And I think that's so beautiful. She is clothed in strength and dignity. I needed that today. And she laughs without fear of the future. Proverbs 31:25. So, wow. With that in mind, we're going to take that message. We're going to take the word of the day for our Meditate With Me May, which is entrust. And we're going to close our eyes with those 2 messages on our heart. And we're going to start the meditation. So, it is a great message. I see some people commenting, oh, that one gave me chills. So, focus on your breath. Hi. Focus on your breath. Close your eyes. I would normally say to open your hands and to let the love in. Today, my hand automatically gravitated to my heart. So if you want to put one hand maybe on your thigh opened, on your knee, as you sit up straight, and then the other you can place on your heart. And I invite you to really tune in to that beat of your heart. I can feel my heartbeat. And without losing your focus on the breath, tune in to that heartbeat. Now these meditations are happening in real time. And these are real life. And, well, I was going to say that I just heard my dog breathing. When I said focus on the breath, I could hear the in and out of the breath. But as soon as I said that this is real life, it sounds like the door is opening. So that means Dylan's coming home. So I'm just going to continue focusing on the meditation. But if you hear some noise, that's who's coming in the room. And we're just going to keep our focus on the heartbeat and the breath for just a few minutes longer as we settle in and we let the vibes of the room get settled. And we're going to bring that mantra to the top of our brain, or top of mind, I guess is the better way to say it. My worries and my wishes are known. My worries and wishes are known. Now let's reverse it once. My wishes and worries are known. What do you wish? What's on your heart? Is it to see beautiful places, meet incredible people? Maybe you desire to experience beautiful cuisines. I wanted to say food, but that's a prettier word. Cuisines and great music and culture. It's okay. You know, too often I think that our society gets wrapped up in wanting things and desires. And, you know, if you're coming from a place of love when you're thinking about those desires, and not a place of lack, not a place of I need or I, must have, but instead a place of I desire, and then you just let it go. It's okay to do that. Sometimes the society says that's wrong, or says that we shouldn't dream or we shouldn't want, and I'm here to change that, Again, so long as if you're coming from a place of love, those wishes, they're okay. That automatically made me think of a song that we actually talked about on the Contagious Victories Podcast. A dream is a wish your heart makes. And that's so true right now in this moment. My heart doesn't want to just see beautiful things or meet wonderful people or experience great things like cuisine or food or music or, things like that. No, my heart wants something more. My heart wants adventure. But also, it wants it for you as well. I know that. I know that we're connected. I know that we're one. And as much as I want it as a selfish thing, I want it as a selfless thing as well. I want you to seek that. Like, that's one of my top wishes, and I hope that you're still following along, because I mean this in the best way. I want you to want it for yourself. That's what I'm saying. And with that, I want us to go back to that mantra. My wishes are known. I'm going to take it a step farther, guys. I invite you to repeat this with me or after me, or, we can do it together. Our wishes, I'm changing it, not mine, our wishes are known. Oh, that just excites me because I feel like such a connection right now with my Creator. I feel like I'm able to share this positive message that it's okay to ask. It's actually preferred. The universe, God, your Creator, it can't give you anything that you don't desire, that you don't ask for. So I think that's what meditation can be for a lot of us is, not like a that was easy button or a hey, I want to place an order. It's not like that. It's more like a line, like a channel that you can tune to, and you and your Creator, y'all get to talk about all the beautiful things in existence, and y'all can co-create together, kind of like we're doing right now with this Facebook Live, or this Instagram Live, excuse me. So keeping that in mind, knowing that our wishes and desires have already been picked up by our Creator. They're already known. Knowing that, what do you desire? As you think about that, center your attention back on the breath. Tune into your heart. Our worries and wishes are known. And hold space for yourself to dream. That's what we're doing in this episode, or this day, this course right now. Maybe you've noticed this with yourself, but I have definitely noticed my heart rate has started to slow down, but it's steady. It's got a good pace going. And my breath has elongated. I bring my attention to that little magical string that's being pulled from the top of my head, and I'm just going to realign my body posture because I tend to sometimes slump down. So bring your attention to that and just share the love of dreaming with yourself and your Creator. Our whole purpose here is to be a loving co-creator with the universe. And as you think about all of the things that you lovingly desire, I want you to imagine a version of yourself that has it. And I want us, we can rest our certainty, I want us to rest our attention on that certainty that we already have whatever it is our heart desires. And we can breathe into the moments that connect us to our desires. We can breathe fully, confidently, steady into the moments that need our breath. Those moments in between our future self and our current self needs our intention, it needs our love, and it needs our trust. The word today is entrust. And I want us to take one more deep breath. And if your hand is still resting on the chest like mine is, I want you to take your pointer finger and we can give ourselves a little tap. And tapping our heart just a few steady times, letting our internal self know that we are paying attention, is a great tool for whenever we feel out of alignment with our true self. And whenever we notice that we're not in alignment with that love, that confidence, that certainty, all we have to do is notice and say, it's okay. I realign. All we have to do is re-choose. Pick again. And when you pick another choice, I hope that choice is love. It will be. We know that we are naturally loving and joyful. And it's the human experience to get out of a line with love sometimes. It's not, healthy. You should try to limit how often you pick fear over love. But the first step is recognizing that you're choosing fear instead of love. And instead of getting upset over doing so, all you have to do is notice and forgive yourself. And understand that the human experience does that from time to time, and that's okay because that's our current perception, our current reality, our current experience. It's human. But we're not just human. We're something more, and that gives us the power to use tools like tapping our heart and realigning with our true self. With that said, I want us to take one more deep breath. And you can slowly open your eyes and rejoin the moment. Hello. I see a couple people in here. Hi. I hope you've been enjoying our meditation. I feel better. I don't know if I seem better than I did at the beginning, but I feel 100% better. And it's all because of y'all and meeting here together for a meditation. So if you missed the beginning and you're still with me, the word today for Meditate With Me May is ENTRUST. And our affirmation is, my worries and wishes are known. And if you aren't familiar with what we're doing over here on Instagram Live with the Once Upon a Tory Instagram, then I and the Contagious Victories community have put together a little challenge. And that challenge is Meditate With Me May. It's 8 days of finding peace together, for realigning with our true self and going inward to find that love and that hope that we are looking for outside, because we're not going to find it if we keep looking for it. So that's what Meditate With Me May is about. And we're here every day at 7 p.m. until this Thursday. So Thursday will be the last day. But there's a little bonus lesson that I'm going to throw in there on Thursday. So I hope that you join me for the rest of the 8 days. We're on day 5 today, and so I hope you join me back again tomorrow. And if you can't, if life gets in the way, then please come on Thursday, because I think that's when it's all going to get tied together. And if you miss the beginning days, then you can go and check them out. I've put them in 2 places. I've put the full-length Instagram Live videos that we've been doing this week. I've put them on Instagram TV. So if you're really into Instagram, you can stay on this platform, and you can just go on my profile and click the little middle tab, and you can find the first 4 days of Meditate With Me May right there on my profile. But if you are more familiar with YouTube, then you can find the 4 days on YouTube too. So I put them in 2 places, and I'm going to share them also in a 3rd place. I'm going to also share them in the Contagious Victories community. If you have been involved with my podcast, or if you've been listening in, or if you've been, following the Instagram, then you should join the community on Facebook, because that's where you can contribute to the show. I give a shout out in almost nearly every episode of the Contagious Victories podcast. So you can join me over there, tell me what you're interested in. And if you're interested in being on the show, then we can have you on the Contagious Victories podcast too. I'm excited. I've got one interview already recorded that's going to go out this week. I'm really excited about that. That's my friend TK, and he's a YouTuber. He's over at Comic Insider. So I met him through the Gulf Coast CW, and I'm going to have him on because the Contagious Victories podcast is all about creativity and following your life purpose. It's about being real and fulfilled. And so we're going to be talking about his passion for comics and YouTube and making movies and all that kind of stuff. We're going to talk about that on an upcoming episode of Contagious Victories. But I've also got another one that I'm really excited about. This is with a fellow Victoria. So the one that I'm actually going to record, whether it's going to be this week or next week, I haven't set that up yet. But I've talked to another Victoria who just finished reading Big Magic. And that's a book by Elizabeth Gilbert. If you haven't heard of it and you're a creative, please go rent from the library Big Magic, or go, buy it on Amazon. I'll share a link, whether it's on Instagram or in my story or something. Big Magic is a great book, so you got to read it. We're going to be talking about that on a future episode of the podcast, so I'm really excited about that. And yeah, so this little meditate course is just an extension of the space that I've been sharing and saving with y'all over on the podcast. So I hope that it all ties together well. I've been trying really hard to do it, and I see some more people have been writing some stuff. I feel better too. Thank you for doing this. Aw, Lindsay, you're awesome. This live chat makes my day, and I appreciate you taking your time to talk to us. That means so much, Lindsay. I really miss y'all. I hope you're doing good. And I see Ed gave me a thumbs up. It's good to see you in here again, Ed. And I see that there's a couple new people in. I see Christina joined, Jeff. Who else? Gray, Leah, or Lehman, Grant. So yeah, everyone who's in, thank you. I'm going to try to recognize y'all on here, because over the last 4 days, I have been, trying to focus on the live, and I've been saying that I would go back and, read all the comments and see who all joined. And unfortunately, when you download the stream, it doesn't say who is in, and it doesn't say the comments. It doesn't save them. So I have been trying in this not this podcast, but this Instagram live to comment and say hey to all of y'all. So I hope it's not distracting y'all too much, and it kind of makes me feel like we're actually in the room together. So thank you so much. I'm adjusting myself on my meditation block because I'm still sitting up on here. But yeah, if y'all have anything that y'all want to contribute, then again, the Contagious Victories Facebook community is the best way to do that. And I would love to recognize you on a future episode of a podcast, or maybe in one of the Instagram lives that we're doing later throughout the week. So I hope that you found peace. I love y'all. I share the space to communicate that love with y'all, and I just feel the need to give a hug. So if you're still with me, give yourself a hug, because I love myself. Doing this has been a dream, first of all. For the last few years, I've always wanted to do a little meditation course, and I'm just so proud of myself for doing it. I'm proud of y'all for meeting me here, and I love y'all. Bye. Oh, Lindsay. Okay, she said, we miss you too. Have a great night, Tori. We love you. I love you.